She asked where she'd sleep. He pulled back the blanket and said, "Right here." The stars outside the viewport of the transport ship stretched endlessly, sharp and bright against the blackness of space. Lena sat in her seat, her fingers tracing the scratches on the armrest, exhausted from the long journey. She had trained for years for this moment. Her first assignment to a research outpost on the distant planet Aurelia 7. But now, in the silence of the cabin, she felt the weight of isolation pressing down on her. The planet had a reputation for harsh weather, strange terrain, and a strange calm that was almost eerie. Humanity had sent outposts before, but most had been abandoned after equipment failures or mysterious incidents that were never fully explained. Lena knew she was entering one of the most remote human outposts in the sector. When the ship finally touched down, Lena felt every muscle in her body tense. The landing was smooth, almost unnervingly so. And as the hatch opened, a cold breeze from the planet's thin atmosphere swept in. She adjusted her suit, stepping down onto the metallic landing pad, the sound of her boots echoing softly. Waiting for her was Captain Elias, the station's only human inhabitant. He was tall and lean, with a sharp, angular face partially hidden by stubble, and eyes that seemed to have seen everything the universe could throw at him. He didn't smile much, but there was a calm assurance in his presence, the kind that said, "I have survived and I can help you survive too." "Lena," he said, his voice low but steady. "Welcome to Outpost Sigma. It's not fancy." The last crew didn't leave much behind. "I understand," Lena replied, her voice barely above a whisper. She followed him into the station, her helmet visor retracting so she could finally breathe freely. The station's interior was dimly lit, panels flickering occasionally with electrical glitches. The air smelled faintly of metal and recycled oxygen. As they walked, Lena noticed signs of wear everywhere. Scratches in the walls, a console with a missing panel, and a storage locker that had been forced open. "Has anyone else been here recently?" she asked. Elias shook his head. "No, it's been just me for months. The other team, they didn't last. Something attacked the outpost. Whatever it was smart. We never found it. I stayed because I know how to handle the systems. And now, you're here." Lena swallowed hard. She had trained for emergencies, for isolation, for danger, but nothing prepared her for this stark loneliness. She felt her stomach twist as she realized the reality. For the first time in her life, she was completely alone with another human in a world she barely understood. Finally, they arrived at a small room with one bed in the corner. The mattress looked thin, and a single blanket lay neatly folded at the foot. Lena hesitated at the doorway, unsure how to speak. "Where will I sleep?" she asked quietly, her voice betraying her fatigue. Elias didn't hesitate. He walked to the bed, pulled back the blanket, and said, "Right here. It's warm. You'll need it." For a moment, Lena stared. The room was small, cramped, and the bed was meant for one. Yet in that simple gesture, she felt a wave of relief. Elias wasn't just offering her shelter. He was offering safety, a simple human kindness in the middle of a cold, alien world. "Thank you," she said, her voice soft. She dropped her bag on the floor and eased herself onto the mattress, letting the warmth of the blanket seep into her bones. For the first time since landing, she felt a small measure of comfort. That night, the station hummed with low, mechanical noise. Outside, the planet's twin moons cast pale light over jagged mountains, and the wind howled across the barren plains. Lena stared at the ceiling, thinking about the journey that had brought her here. She had wanted to explore, to learn, to be part of humanity's expansion into the stars. But now, faced with isolation, she wondered if she was ready. Elias, seated across the room at a small console, watched the sensors and readouts flicker in the dim light. Months alone had taught him caution, and the latest sensor logs showed unusual energy spikes outside the station. He didn't say anything, but Lena felt the tension in his posture. He was alert, ready for whatever might come. And somehow, that gave her confidence. Morning came slowly. Lena awoke to the soft hum of the station and the faint glow of Aurelia. Seven's sun spilling through the small window. She sat up, rubbing her eyes, and noticed Elias already at work. He was monitoring the environmental systems, adjusting valves and checking power levels with precision. Every movement was careful, deliberate, as if each task were a matter of survival. "Good morning," Lena said, trying to sound more confident than she felt. Elias didn't look up immediately. "Morning. Sleep well?" "Yes," she said honestly. "Better than I expected." He finally glanced at her, a hint of a smile crossing his face. "Good. You'll need your strength. The planet isn't forgiving." After breakfast, reconstituted food and recycled water, they walked through the station together. Elias explained the basics: the life support systems, the solar arrays outside, and the emergency protocols in case of alien interference. Lena listened intently, taking notes, impressed by how he had maintained the station despite years of isolation and threat. "Why did you stay here alone?" she asked at one point. Elias paused. "Because someone has to. Because humans can endure more than people think. Because if we give up, no one else will survive here. You'll see. You'll understand." The words settled in her mind. There was something undeniably human in his resolve. Something about surviving, adapting, and protecting that no alien threat could erase. She felt a spark of inspiration. Maybe this outpost wasn't just a lonely station. Maybe it was a testament to what humans could endure, even in the most remote corners of the galaxy. By the afternoon, Lena began her first tasks: inventory checks, equipment calibration, and system diagnostics. She quickly discovered that Elias wasn't exaggerating. The systems were old and worn, some barely functioning, and keeping them operational required ingenuity, patience, and determination. She watched him work and realized that human innovation was as much about survival as it was about science. That night, after a long day of work, Lena returned to the bed. Elias was at the console again, monitoring the faint blips on the sensors. She pulled the blanket over herself, grateful for the warmth. The room felt smaller than it was, not because of walls, but because of shared space. She felt a connection forming, built not on words, but on shared presence and silent understanding. Just as she began to drift into sleep, the sensors on the console beeped softly. Elias glanced at them, frowning. A small energy spike had appeared outside the station, unusual and fleeting. "Did you see that?" Lena asked, sitting up. Elias nodded. "Something's out there. Could be a storm, could be... something else. I'll check it in the morning." Lena lay back down, heart racing, staring at the ceiling. The unknown had arrived, and for the first time she understood that survival on Aurelia 7 was about more than physical endurance. It was about vigilance, adaptability, and the ability to trust another human even when danger lurked beyond the walls. As sleep finally claimed her, Lena felt a quiet determination settle in her chest. She had arrived on a strange, dangerous world, but she was not alone. She had human ingenuity, resilience, and the simple kindness of another person to guide her through the unknown. And somehow, that was enough. The twin moons of Aurelia, 7 cast long shadows across the barren plains outside. The wind whispered secrets of the planet's hidden dangers, And inside the small station, beneath a simple blanket, humanity endured. The morning light of Aurelia 7 filtered through the station's small windows, casting pale shadows across the metal walls. Lena sat at the control console, sipping recycled water, her eyes scanning the sensor readings from the night before. The faint energy spike had returned, this time sharper, more defined. Elias was already at his post, adjusting a panel that hummed with electrical life. His hands moved quickly, confidently, like someone who had done this hundreds of times. "See this?" he asked without looking up. "The energy signature is consistent. Something's out there, watching us." Lena's voice wavered, but her curiosity overpowered her fear. "You mean aliens?" Elias finally looked at her, his eyes serious. "Not exactly aliens in the way you think. They're intelligent. They've been studying humans for years. Some of the previous crews never even noticed them. They're cautious, but they're always present." Lena swallowed hard. She had trained for emergencies, isolation, and unexpected threats, but the idea of intelligent life observing them so closely made her stomach twist. "Why haven't they attacked?" she asked. "Because they're patient," Elias said simply. "Humans are unpredictable. They want to understand before they act." Lena's mind raced. She had imagined exploration as challenging but exciting, full of discoveries and the thrill of new knowledge. She hadn't imagined being studied by a species she couldn't see. Yet, despite the fear, she felt a spark of pride. Humanity had survived harsh conditions on countless worlds, and she now understood that this was just another challenge. The day was spent preparing for potential intrusion. Elias led Lena through the station, showing her the outer security measures. Reinforced doors, pressure-sensitive alarms, and automated drones capable of sending alerts if something, or someone, crossed the perimeter. Lena's fingers brushed over the controls, quickly learning how to monitor and respond to threats. She marveled at how Elias had maintained all of this alone. "You really kept this place running by yourself?" she asked, awe in her voice. Elias shrugged. "Necessity. Humans are clever, Lena. We adapt. We survive. That's what makes us different." By mid-afternoon, Lena felt a sense of growing competence. She understood the systems, the sensors, the alarms, and even the little quirks of the old technology. But her confidence was tested when the outer sensors detected movement. The console beeped sharply, and the monitor flashed with a shape moving just beyond the reinforced glass of the station's perimeter. Elias didn't panic. He adjusted a control panel and zoomed the external cameras. Lena leaned in. What she saw made her heart skip a beat. The shape was unlike anything she had seen before. It was tall and thin, with shimmering skin that reflected the harsh light of Aurelia, 7's twin suns. Its movements were deliberate, almost calculating, as though it were studying them with intent. "They're here," Lena whispered. "Ah," Elias nodded. "Yes, and they're testing us. They want to see how we react. Humans have a way of surprising creatures like this. That's why they observe first, attack later. Or sometimes not at all." Lena's pulse quickened, but instead of fear, she felt a surge of determination. Humans survive. Humans adapt. Humans think. She straightened in her chair, ready to do her part. The first encounter was quiet. The alien, whatever it was, moved slowly, almost like it was analyzing the station's structure. It didn't attempt to force entry, but its presence was undeniable. Lena and Elias spent hours monitoring it, taking notes and trying to predict its behavior. During a break, Lena asked Elias, "Do you think it's dangerous?" "Everything is dangerous out here," he replied. "But humans are smarter. We can outthink almost any threat." That night, after long hours of observation, Lena returned to the small bedroom. The blanket on the bed felt warmer than ever. Elias had prepared a simple meal of rehydrated rations, and they ate in silence, listening to the hum of the station and the faint sounds of movement outside. "You're not afraid?" Lena asked softly, half expecting him to shrug it off. Elias met her gaze. "Fear doesn't help. Observation, preparation, and quick thinking help. That's why humans survive. Not because we're the strongest, but because we're adaptable, because we care for each other, even in the smallest ways." Lena nodded, understanding more than ever the meaning of the blanket, the shared space, the warmth and trust. It wasn't just about comfort, it was about humanity. Even in the cold and isolation, they had each other. That connection was a weapon more powerful than any laser or shield. The next day brought the first real test. The alien had left strange markings on the terrain outside, a subtle but unmistakable sign of intelligence. Elias suggested a cautious approach. They would send a drone to get a closer look without exposing themselves. Lena operated the controls, piloting the small craft across jagged rocks and shallow craters. The camera feed showed the creature, or creatures, moving in patterns that were deliberate, almost methodical. "It's studying us," Lena said, her voice tight with excitement and tension. "Yes," Elias replied, "and it's learning. But humans can learn faster. That's the advantage we have. Observation and adaptation. That's our power." For the first time, Lena truly understood HFY. Humanity, FFFY. It wasn't just about bravery or strength. It was about ingenuity, persistence, and the relentless will to survive. The aliens might be intelligent, but humans had something unique: the ability to care, think, and improvise. Hours passed with little incident, but the tension never left the air. Outside Aurelia, Seven's wind howled, carrying particles of dust and strange, sharp-scented minerals. Inside, Lena and Elias continued their preparations, reinforcing the outer barriers, checking life support systems, and keeping the sensors sharp. That night, Lena returned to the bedroom. Elias was at the console again, silent and focused. She pulled back the blanket, climbed onto the bed, and let herself relax for a moment. The warmth enveloped her, a simple human comfort amidst the alien threat. "Do you ever get lonely?" she asked softly. Elias glanced at her, then back at the monitor. "Lonely?" he said. "Sometimes. I have, but not really. You have work, you have purpose, and now you have company." Lena smiled faintly. It was strange, feeling safe on a planet that could kill them at any moment. Yet the warmth of the blanket, the presence of Elias, and the shared understanding of survival created a sense of home she had never expected to find. Sleep came slowly. Lena dreamed of alien eyes, shimmering and calculating, observing from the shadows. But she also dreamed of humans thriving, solving problems, adapting, surviving against impossible odds. She woke with a sense of resolve stronger than fear. The following morning, the energy readings spiked again. This time, the signal was accompanied by movement directly outside the reinforced doors. Lena and Elias rushed to the console, watching as the alien, or group of aliens, approached, cautiously, but unmistakably aware of their presence. "They're testing us," Elias said, his tone steady but intense. "They want to see what humans will do." Lena nodded. "Then let's give them a good show." They spent the next hours preparing a series of clever traps and diversions. Lena used her engineering knowledge to reroute power to certain panels, creating light flares and noises designed to confuse and observe the creature's reactions. Elias coordinated the station's defenses, ready to seal doors or divert energy if necessary. When the aliens finally approached the station, they hesitated. Lena and Elias watched, silently and calmly, noting every movement. The aliens tried to probe, reaching sensors and tools toward the station's exterior, but the humans had anticipated each action. Through observation, preparation, and ingenuity, they were not only safe, they were in control. Hours later, the aliens retreated, moving back into the barren plains. Lena exhaled, exhausted but exhilarated. "We did it," she whispered. Elias gave a small nod, but his eyes remained on the sensors. "For now, they'll be back. They always are. But humans are persistent. They adapt. That's why we survive." As night fell again, Lena returned to the bedroom. She climbed under the blanket, letting its warmth wash over her. The alien presence outside felt less threatening now, almost like a puzzle to solve rather than a threat to destroy. She realized that survival was not just about fighting. It was about understanding, learning, and using intelligence in ways no other species could. Elias settled beside her, not in the bed, but near the console, ever watchful. The silent companionship spoke volumes. Humans endured together even in silence. Humans thrived even when the odds seemed impossible. And for Lena, that was more than enough. Outside, Aurelia. Seven's winds shifted, the shadows moved, and the aliens, ever patient, continued to watch, unaware that they were studying a species capable of outthinking them at every step. Humans were not just survivors. They were innovators, thinkers, and fighters in ways the universe had never seen. And Lena had just begun to learn the full power of being human. The morning light of Aurelia 7 spilled across the rocky plains, painting the jagged cliffs in pale shades of silver and blue. Lena woke to the soft hum of the station, her thoughts still filled with the aliens' retreat from the previous night. The warning was clear. They were intelligent, patient, and curious. And now they would return. She rubbed her eyes and looked at Elias. He sat at the console, studying sensor data with quiet precision. "Morning," she said softly. "Morning," he replied. "Sleep well?" "Yes," she said, although her mind had been restless all night. "I've been thinking about them, the aliens. What if they come back in larger numbers?" Elias's gaze remained steady. "Then we'll be ready. Humans survive because we think ahead, not because we hope things go our way. Observation, adaptation, preparation, that's our advantage. Never forget it." Lena nodded, determination rising within her. Fear was natural, but humans had something stronger: ingenuity. That was what set them apart from every other species they might encounter. By mid-morning, Lena and Elias had divided their tasks. Lena worked on reinforcing the outer perimeter, patching weak points in the station's walls, and checking the drone systems. Elias calibrated the energy systems, ensuring that any intrusion could be detected immediately and contained. While Lena worked, she noticed a pattern in the aliens' behavior. They didn't strike directly. Instead, they circled, studied, and tested the station's limits. "They're probing our defenses," she said aloud, talking as much to herself as to Elias. "They want to see what humans are capable of before deciding how to act." Elias looked up, a small smile flickering across his face. "Exactly. Humans can be unpredictable, clever, and resourceful. That's why they're cautious. They know we can adapt." It was true. Humans had survived countless wars, disasters, and environmental extremes, not through sheer strength, but through problem-solving, cooperation, and perseverance. And Lena felt a surge of pride, realizing that she was now part of that legacy. The afternoon brought the first real test. One of the drones picked up movement near the station's outer fence. Lena zoomed in on the feed. The alien was approaching carefully, almost deliberately, stopping occasionally as if analyzing the environment. Its skin shimmered under Aurelia 7's sun, a reflection that made it nearly invisible against the rocky terrain. "Looks like it's testing our sensors," Lena said, her heart racing with both fear and excitement. "It's smart, but we can be smarter." Elias nodded. "Exactly. Time to use your skills. We'll outthink it, not outfight it." They quickly set up a series of clever diversions. Lena rerouted power to some panels, creating flashes of light that would mimic human activity in one section of the station. She rigged motion sensors to trigger sound alarms in another area. All of it was designed to confuse the alien, to make it think there were more humans and defenses than there really were. When the alien reached the station, it hesitated. Lena watched, breath held, as it reacted exactly as she had predicted. The light flashes drew its attention while the sounds from the other side of the station made it pause. For a moment, the alien seemed to retreat, but then it studied the area more carefully, analyzing, learning. "They're smart," Lena whispered. "But we're smarter." Elias placed a hand on her shoulder, firm but reassuring. "Humans are clever because we care. We adapt, we survive. Never forget that." For hours, they observed the alien, documenting its behavior, learning its patterns. Each time it tried to probe a weak point, Lena and Elias adjusted their tactics, reinforcing defenses and creating new diversions. It was a silent battle of wits, a contest not of strength, but of intelligence. By evening, the alien finally retreated, disappearing into the rocky terrain. Lena exhaled deeply, relief flooding her. "We did it," she said, her voice trembling with excitement. "Yes," Elias said, though he didn't relax entirely. "For now, they'll be back. But every time they come, we learn. And every time, humans get stronger." That night, Lena climbed into the small bed, pulling the blanket tightly around herself. The warmth was more than physical. It was a reminder that humans had survived in every corner of the universe, even in situations far worse than this. The blanket was a symbol of comfort, yes, but also of human resilience and care for one another. "You did well today," Elias said quietly from the console. "You adapted quickly. I'm impressed." Lena smiled faintly. "I had a good teacher." They fell into a comfortable silence, the hum of the station filling the room. Sleep came slowly, but it came. And Lena dreamed not of fear, but of clever strategies, quick thinking, and the power of humans to endure. The next morning, the energy readings spiked again. But this time, Lena noticed something new. The aliens weren't just circling the station. They were building structures outside, small constructs that seemed to be tools or sensors. "They're preparing," she said, alarmed. "Yes," Elias replied, "and we need to be ready. Humans survive because we adapt faster than the threats we face. That's why we're still here." She reinforced the outer walls, upgraded the drone surveillance, and devised contingency plans in case the aliens attempted direct entry. Every action was deliberate, calculated, and aimed at survival. She felt a deep sense of pride. This was human ingenuity in action. Hours passed in intense preparation. The aliens approached again, this time cautiously testing the reinforced sections of the station. Lena and Elias watched every move, adjusting their defenses in real time. It was a tense game of strategy, each side learning from the other. Finally, the aliens attempted to breach one of the weaker panels. Lena activated a defensive protocol, triggering a controlled flare and sound distraction. The alien paused, confused, then retreated. The station held. Humans had won again, not through violence, but through clever thinking and resourcefulness. As the sun set over the barren landscape, Lena looked at Elias. We did it again, and it wasn't even close to a fight. Elias nodded, a proud smile tugging at his lips. Humans survive because we care, we think, and we never give up. That's our greatest weapon. The night was calm, the twin moons casting silver light across the plains. Lena climbed into the small bed, pulling the blanket over herself once more. The warmth was comforting, a reminder that humans had thrived in impossible situations before, and they could do it again. And as she drifted to sleep, Lena realized that survival on Aurelia 7 wasn't just about defending the station. It was about thinking, adapting, and using the mind as a weapon. The aliens might be intelligent, but humans were smarter. Tomorrow, she knew, would bring new challenges. But for the first time, Lena felt a deep confidence. She had learned what it truly meant to be human, to endure, to innovate, and to care for one another in the face of overwhelming odds. Outside, the aliens watched, patient and calculating. They had learned something too. Humans were not just another species. They were clever, resourceful, and unpredictable. They survived because of their minds, their hearts, and their indomitable spirit. And that spirit would not be broken. The pale light of Aurelia, 7's twin suns stretched across the jagged plains as Lena and Elias prepared for a new day. The aliens had returned again, moving cautiously along the perimeter of the outpost, but this time, they weren't just circling, they were building, constructing small devices that pulsed with soft energy. Lena watched from the observation deck, notebook in hand, analyzing every movement. They're preparing something, she said quietly. And I think it's more than just studying us this time. Elias nodded, eyes narrowing as he studied the sensors. Yes, whatever they're planning, we need to be ready. But I think it's also an opportunity. Those devices, they could lead us to something bigger. Lena tilted her head. Something bigger? The aliens may be trying to communicate or leave behind technology. Maybe even a hidden settlement. We can use it to expand human presence here. Humans survive not by hiding, but by exploring and adapting. This could be our chance. The two spent the morning preparing. Lena checked the drones, repaired damaged sensors, and reinforced sections of the station walls. Elias calibrated the life support and energy systems, ensuring that the station could sustain a longer expedition. Together, they created a detailed plan to investigate the alien constructs without exposing themselves to unnecessary danger. By afternoon, the sky turned a deeper shade of orange as Aurelia, 7 suns began their slow descent. The alien devices outside glowed faintly, almost like beacons. Lena and Elias suited up, helmets clicking into place, and stepped onto the landing platform. The planet's wind was cold and sharp against their suits, carrying dust and particles that made the terrain difficult to navigate. This will be risky, Elias said, but humans have survived far worse. Just remember, observe, adapt, and act. That's how we thrive. Lena nodded, determination bright in her eyes. Together, they moved across the rocky landscape, drones hovering above them to provide surveillance. The alien devices were spread across a small valley, arranged in patterns that suggested intelligence and intention. Lena approached one cautiously, scanning it with a portable analyzer. "It's not a weapon," she said after a moment. "It's some kind of beacon or sensor, and it's connected to a signal. Someone, or something, left this here deliberately." Elias crouched beside her, examining the device. "Then it's a trail. Something they want us to find, or something they want us to see." Humans explore, Lena. We follow signs like this, and we discover new opportunities. This is why we survive. They spent hours following the trail of devices, moving cautiously but efficiently across the harsh terrain. Lena marveled at the strange landscapes, jagged cliffs, deep craters, and mineral formations that shimmered under the sun's light. Despite the danger, she felt exhilarated. Humanity had always survived by pushing boundaries, and now she was part of that legacy. As they reached a plateau overlooking a deep canyon, Lena's drone detected a hidden structure carved into the rock. The entrance was partially covered by natural formations, almost invisible from a distance. "There," she whispered. "That must be it. Some kind of hidden facility or colony." Elias studied the formation, his expression thoughtful. Could be an abandoned human outpost. Could be something else. Either way, it's an opportunity, and opportunities are why humans thrive. They approached cautiously, scanning for any signs of life or hazards. The structure was old but still functional. Panels flickered faintly, powered by a small hidden energy source. Lena reached for the main control panel and began interfacing with it. Lines of code and status reports flashed across the screen. "It's a human colony," she said after a moment, eyes widening. "Abandoned but intact. The systems are damaged but repairable. Whoever was here left in a hurry." Elias smiled faintly. "Then it's up to us." Humans survive not just by protecting what exists, but by reviving what's been lost. Let's bring it back online. The next hours were intense. Lena and Elias worked tirelessly to restore power, reroute energy, and repair life support systems. They encountered damaged circuits, failing reactors, and strange alien interference in the network. But every obstacle was met with ingenuity and determination. Lena's engineering skills and Elias's survival experience complemented each other perfectly. By evening, the colony hummed to life. Lights flickered on in dormitories, laboratories, and common areas. The air circulation systems restored clean oxygen, and the communication arrays sent signals into the sky. Lena and Elias stepped back, exhausted but proud. Humans had survived again. Not through force, but through intelligence, cooperation, and sheer perseverance. "This is what it means to be human," Elias said quietly. "We don't just endure, we rebuild, adapt, and expand. That's why the universe can't ignore us." Lena looked around the restored colony, a sense of awe filling her chest. "It's incredible. To think we're standing here in the middle of nowhere and we brought this place back to life. We did it." "Yes," Elias said. "Together, humans survive because we work together, because we adapt, and because we never give up." As night fell, they set up temporary shelter in one of the dormitories. Lena pulled the blanket over herself, the same blanket that had offered warmth and comfort back at the outpost. It was a small reminder of human connection, the simple things that sustain them in the cold and alien world. Outside, the alien devices pulsed faintly, watching, learning, but not attacking. Lena realized that the creatures were not enemies. They were observers, intelligent and cautious, testing humans in a way that challenged but also respected their ingenuity. Humanity's strength was not in aggression, but in adaptability, cleverness, and collaboration. In the quiet of the restored colony, Lena felt a deep sense of purpose. The universe was vast, dangerous, and unpredictable, but humans were capable of thriving anywhere, as long as they thought, adapted, and cared for one another. "This is just the beginning," Elias said, sitting near the console and monitoring the sensors. "There's more to discover, more to explore, more to survive. But today, we succeeded. And humans will keep succeeding no matter what." Lena nodded, feeling the weight and the pride of that truth. She had started as a weary traveler, uncertain and anxious. Now, she was part of a human triumph, standing on the frontier of survival and ingenuity. And as she drifted to sleep under the comforting warmth of the blanket, she knew that no matter what challenges came next, humans had the ability to overcome them. The aliens could observe, study, and test, but humanity's combination of intelligence, courage, and compassion made them unstoppable. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, new discoveries, and perhaps even new dangers, but Lena felt ready. She was human, and humans survived and thrived because they never stopped thinking, never stopped adapting, and never stopped caring. The night passed quietly, with the alien devices glowing softly in the distance, watching and learning. But inside the colony, humans had restored life, warmth, and hope. That was the essence of survival. That was the essence of humanity. And for Lena and Elias, that was more than enough.